Stay with me here as I bring in President and CEO of TrustedSec, David Kennedy. He's the Marine veteran who developed the signal sniffer device that federal authorities are using to try and track Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker. Also joining us is investigative genetic genealogist Misty Gillis. Good morning to both of you. Misty, let me just start with you and pick up where Nancy just left off there, because just because we haven't gotten a match in the CODIS system yet doesn't mean it's a dead end, right?
That's right. That's where investigative genetic genealogy really comes into play, because we're not using that one-to-one comparison that CODIS uses. We're using the genetic genealogy databases that law enforcement has access to. So we're going to compare that profile that they developed to the users in that database, which is just under about 2 million currently, and see if we can find connections through that.
And just a quick follow-up for you there. If you do get a match on any of these sites, like 23andMe or Ancestry.com, what are the chances that it actually leads to somebody that's been on police radar, or that list of 40 names they're taking to all these gun shops in the area, and not just a maintenance guy who was in her house a few weeks ago, fixing something? How do they rule that out?
So just to clarify, we don't use Ancestry and 23andMe. We're only allowed to use GEDmatch and Family Tree DNA. But really, it all comes down to identifying that source, like you said. So you can't guarantee that this is going to be the offender's profile. It could be linked to somebody that did do maintenance in the home. But again, ruling that profile out will help investigators push the investigation forward.
And David, everybody's so focused on this glove that was found 2 miles away from Nancy's home, right? I think there's a lot of skepticism as to if that glove is even involved in the case or not. Authorities found 16 gloves in and around her house. Should we be more focused on the DNA found inside her home that doesn't match Nancy or anybody within her close circle?
Yeah, I think you need to start looking at every aspect here. The glove is important. The technology that's surrounding that, being able to comb through all of that. The technology takes months to go through sometimes, depending on cameras, traffic cameras, time of origin. And so they're going to be piecing that together, the clothing that they wore, using forensics accounting to go through and see, can they match somebody that purchased the gloves with the backpack, with the overall outfit. All of those things are going to be used to profile exactly how this works. And it's just going to take a lot of time to comb through it all.
And David, as I mentioned off the top, you invented the signal sniffer that's being used to try to find her pacemaker. They've attached it to the helicopter. We've seen it flying at low altitudes out there. What have you heard back from investigators? Have they gotten any sort of hits from that?
Well, the current system that they're deploying in the field is really used if you are really close to a signal, being like in the middle of the woods or things like that. The capabilities that I've been working on with law enforcement expand that reach much further. So instead of getting 20 to 30 feet or 40 feet, which would be very difficult from a helicopter, you can amplify that signal with what are called signal amplifiers and omnidirectional antennas that give you a 360-degree view that allow you to get anywhere between 800 to 1,000 feet of collection. And that pacemaker transmits every 2 to 3 minutes for about 1 second, which is an eternity in the computer world. And so if they're in a close proximity around 800 feet to 1,000 feet, leveraging either helicopters or drones, they can pick up that signal pretty quickly. And that's what's going to take time. You look at about 120-mile radius, probably take about 2 weeks with about 50 drones. If they're using helicopters currently, it means that they don't have these drone capabilities. They're working on building that out and leveraging that fleet to get much further distance and cover more ground. It's something that law enforcement's actively working on for sure.
Nancy, we've seen that helicopter flying. We've seen, 400 agents on the ground working this case, and now they've reached across, country lines down to Mexico now. Any word on the ground from authorities how long they can keep up this kind of presence on this one story in one case?
They are going nonstop indefinitely, and there are over 400 investigators, at least 400, involved in this, both federal and local here in Pima County. They're going to go as long as they need to go, and the sheriff has stressed that he wants this case solved. It is, of course, the biggest case in Pima County, perhaps in its entire history. And when it comes to that DNA inside the house, it's important to note that, yes, Nancy Guthrie had, many people who came to this property. Not only were there was an electrician that worked inside the home recently, there's a pool staff, there's a housekeeper, And I have seen the landscaping staff here as well. So there is a lot to go through when it comes to processing that DNA and ruling other people out. So it just takes, patience in allowing law enforcement to do their work.
And Nancy, is there still security outside her house this morning? Every morning we've seen a security car behind you kind of at the front door. Does that still remain on site?
Yeah. Yeah, Pima County Sheriff's Department remains on duty here, protecting the home, preventing people from trespassing onto the property. That is at the request of the Guthrie family, Marky.
Misty, let me also ask you, because the other chatter has been, did this guy have an accomplice that we have seen on the surveillance video at the front door? Did he work alone? Was he with a team? Do you have any thoughts on that and where you stand on that this morning?
I don't see any evidence that there was an accomplice. I mean, we only have that sole video of him coming through, and it really depends on what they see DNA-wise, what they were able to collect. Is there multiple unknown profiles, or is there just that one unknown profile? And I think that will shed a lot of light into that theory.
I got to end it there just with time, but Nancy Liu, David Kennedy, Misty Gillis, thank you all so much for joining me on Friday morning. And Nancy, I'll loop back in with you in just a little bit.